Hey friends, welcome. Thanks for joining me here. Today I have a beginner mandala flow for you. With my weekly yoga class, I recently completed a full month of mandala flows where we started with this beginner flow and progressed over time um, to add more and more poses. So whether you're a beginner to yoga or even if you're a seasoned yoga practitioner and you practice often, um, one of the practices of yoga is to keep a beginner's mindset at all times. There's always something to learn in our environment, on our mats, and everywhere in between. And so, mandala flows, we start at the top of our mats. We move around the mat to the back. We move back around the other way and back towards the top of our mat, and so on and so forth. And so we're going to do that a few times around. Um, if you're like me and sometimes you get your sides mixed up, no worries. What I invite you to do for this practice, as I do for every practice, is to be gentle with yourself. Find moments where you can challenge yourself and push yourself, but also find a lot of compassion and humor with your practice. So it doesn't have to be perfect. When we step on our mats, it's our opportunity to explore our experience, not to be perfect. And so with that, let's get started. We're going to start with a brief warm-up in our bodies, and then we're going to get to flowing, and we'll settle in for the end of our practice. So wherever you are, we'll start standing where we are. I invite you to find a strong base in your feet. Sometimes for me that means standing a little bit wider. Sometimes you can stand with your feet together, or somewhere in between. So what works best for your body? You get to choose. And we're just going to start, you notice I'm swaying side to side, and we're just going to start by swinging our arms side to side. Letting them hang, we're going to twist gently to each side as we continue to sway. You can close your eyes here if you can maintain your balance. A little extra challenge there if you want to close them up. And just sway side to side as you turn and twist the body, beginning to open those shoulders, open the hips, open that low back. Notice where you're feeling it here, and also begin to notice your breath and let it flow freely. The next time you come to the right side, we're going to stop here and let our hands fall to our hips or somewhere on our body so they can kind of just hold on wherever they find a spot. And we're going to twist to the right here, turning our gaze over our right shoulders. Just taking a moment here to really squeeze out some of that energy in the spine. And then on our next exhale, we're going to release towards center and start our little sway and twist here. This feels good even if you do this on your own and that's your yoga practice for the day, right? If it brings you to the present moment, if it helps you be aware of your experience, that is yoga. The next time you land to your left, we're going to do the same things. Let your hands land where they may and take a little twist here. Maybe you feel the breath lift your hands on your back or your side or your tummy, wherever your hands are. And release into this twist. When we're ready on our exhale, we'll come back towards center, maybe give the arms a little bit of a shake, and we're going to get into the spine a little bit here. So the hands will hang down to the side. We'll release our exhale. And on our inhale, we're just going to bring our arms back just slightly here as we open the back. On an exhale, we're going to round our shoulders down and round our arms in front of our body and reach down like we're trying to reach something. This time, we're going to roll our shoulder up and around. And then we're going to do the other one, rolling the arm and the shoulder in front of the body up and around, coming back towards center. Let's do that a few more times, just kind of getting some movement into the spine here. So again, as we inhale, our arms are going to come back, our spine is going to arch slightly. As we exhale, we're going to round in, arms are going to hang, but like they're trying to reach towards something that keeps them engaged. On the next inhale, our left arm is going to come up above the body and around. Right arm will come in front of the body as we lean to the side and up and around. Let's do that 2 more times. So again, we'll inhale, arms come back. Our heart opens. We exhale, rounding forward, reaching down. This time, right arm comes up and over, around, opening that shoulder. Left arm, as the head comes down, up and around. One more time. Inhale, open. Exhale, coming in, closing in. Whichever arm, one at a time. Up and around. Up and around. This time, inhale, both arms up overhead. And we're going to fold forward here. So we're going to fold, hinging at the hips, keeping a straight spine. You can bend in the knees if you'd like and come to a forward fold, wherever you are here. Option to widen the feet to make room for the body. Kind of hanging out here. Now, option to bring some blocks underneath your hands if you want to lift the earth up to you, or you can tent the fingers and just take your knees for a little bend here. So I'm going to straighten in one leg and then the other. Just beginning to open up the hamstrings. You also notice that I'm on my fists here. Sometimes I like to just make a little fist and come to the tops of my fingers. It takes a little bit of pressure off my wrists. Taking a little walk here. An option to play around. You can take a twist if you'd like, letting each arm come up towards the sky. Or you can take a few halfway lifts here, extending the spine long and then letting it hang over the top of those thighs, letting the body come between the legs if that's available for you. So you get to choose. You can do all of them if you want. Just really exploring what works best for you. If you're not sure, choose one and go with it. This is how we start to learn what our bodies need. Maybe you're like, I don't want to twist. That's not in my body today. I want to do some halfway lifts. Just explore here. Wherever you are, go ahead and finish up. We're going to rise up. And we're going to meet at the top of our mats for our mandala flow. Finding your Tadasana here and bringing your hands to heart center. Rolling the shoulders, slight bend in the knees, and really pressing down into all corners of those feet. Pulling that energy up from the earth. Taking a few moments here. Now I mentioned our mandala flow is a beginner mandala flow. Again, you don't have to be a beginner to yoga to practice this. But what I mean by beginner is there's a little less fluff and fancy in here and just really straightforward poses, and there's only a few of them. So we're keeping it really simple today. So that's why you don't have to be a seasoned yoga practitioner, or you can be a seasoned one. But wherever you are, maybe you're just searching for some simplicity today, and that's where we're starting here. Wherever you are, release your hands to your side, and next inhale, take a big inhale with the hands overhead, and exhale will forward fold over the front hips. So bending in the knees, again, option to come to blocks here, bending generously in the knees so that the hands can reach the earth. When you get there, we'll take a halfway lift. So we're going to extend the legs and extend the spine straight. On an exhale, we're going to step back as far as you can with that right foot. Coming into a lunge here, that front leg is bent. You can pull the belly or the body inside that left thigh if necessary. And then if you're using blocks or your hands, you can start to walk both hands towards the right side of the mat as the toes pivot to wide leg forward fold to the right side of your mat. Wherever you are here, release the spine, bend in the knees gently. And then option to sway side to side into each leg. Opening up those inner thighs, opening up those muscles in the legs, wherever you're feeling it, notice that. Wherever you are, come to center. We'll take a halfway lift here. Just like when our legs were together, our spine is going to come long and straighten. And then we're going to exhale. Let it fold in between those legs. We're going to keep our walk going, and we're going to walk to the back of our mat. So we're going to go to the right again. And we're going to find our way to the back of a mat in our lunge. And then we're going to step up. Left foot meets the right. We rise up, arms over head, hands to heart center. Take a moment here. Notice what came up for you. Take a few inhales and exhales. And take a moment just to reflect on your experience. If you didn't know where you were going, was that hard for you? Were you more in a playful place where you were like, okay, we'll figure this out as we go along? Or were you somewhere in between? The practice is not to judge yourself. Let it be wherever it is, but next time you make our way around, just notice your experience and your tendencies. When we're ready, we'll exhale our arms down to the side, and we'll inhale them up above the head. Exhale, bowing forward, hinging at the hips, folding over those front legs. Again, option to widen the legs to bring the belly in between. Take a halfway lift here. On our exhale, we're going to step back with our right foot as far as it'll go. We're in our lunge here. And then we're going to walk to the right again. So we're going around in a circle here, friends. We're going to find our way to the other long edge side of the mat. Option to have hands on blocks and walk them with you, or hands to the earth, slight bend in the knees. And you can bend in one knee and then the other. Just opening up the legs here. When you're ready, come towards center and take a halfway lift, extending the spine long. And on our exhale, we're going to complete our circle and walk to the right again till both feet meet at the top of our mats. When we get there, we rise. Inhale, hands overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. Take a few moments here. What was your experience? What came up for you? We're going to do that in the other direction. And we're only going to go once more time around. But I invite you, if you really love this little mandala flow, this really simple mandala flow, I invite you to go around your mat as many times as you'd like. So when we're ready, we'll release our hands down to the side. And on an inhale, together we rise, arms overhead. Exhale, we bow forward, leading with the heart. When we get there, set your body up and take a halfway lift. This time as we exhale, we're going to step back with the left foot as far as we can. We're in a low lunge here, or a high lunge. We're going to turn to the left. So both sets of toes turn to the long edge side. We're going to hang out here. We were just here a minute ago. And then option to bend in one knee and then the other just a few times here. Coming to center, taking a halfway lift. And exhale, folding forward. The next time you inhale, we're going to keep walking to the left towards the back of the mat. Both toes turn in that direction, and our feet are on train tracks here, so they're not in the same line with one another. We want some stability here. So if they ended up in the same line, you can widen them. And we're in a lunge here. We'll take an inhale, and exhale, the right foot will meet the left. We exhale as we fold forward. We'll inhale as we rise, arms up overhead. And exhale, hands to heart center. Take just a moment here. Again, noticing what came up for you. How can you find some playful energy with this? We are not in pursuit of perfection, but rather practice. Let's go one more time around and we'll meet at the top of our mats to complete our mandala. So we'll release the hands to the side. On an inhale, we rise up overhead. Exhale, hands come down to the side as we bow forward. Take a halfway lift here, extending the spine long. And on an exhale, step back as far as you can with the left foot and start to pivot both feet and toes towards the left, other long edge side. Again, option to bend in one knee and then the other here. Coming to center and taking a halfway lift. Exhaling, sitting the hips back, bending in the knees slightly, letting the torso hang down. On the next inhale, we're going to turn both sets of toes towards the top of our mat. Now listen up here, friends. Instead of pressing that back foot forward, we're going to press that front foot back into downward facing dog. Coming here, pressing those hips back, maybe taking your dog for a little walk, bending in both knees. And then when we're ready, we're going to swing our torsos forward, shoulders coming over the wrists, knees coming down to the ground, and then hips towards the heels. We're going to come into a balasana. Couple options here. You can simply sit your hips back towards your heels if that's available in your body, or you can widen the knees, keeping the toes together behind you, and make some room for your body. Torso comes towards the earth. Option to put a blanket here or a block or a bolster. And head comes towards the earth or a block or a pillow. And just take a little rest here. Finding the natural flow of your breath. Letting your hips slowly sink back towards those heels as far as they'll go. Now, option 2, stay here for as long as you'd like. Or if there's any other stretches that you'd like to take, please feel free to do those and kind of explore your experience here. I also invite you, as always, to take your final Shavasana, resting pose, laying flat on your mat or seated in a chair, whichever is available in your body. And just let your breath be natural and let the poses integrate into your body. So wherever you were today, I hope if it was your first mandala flow or your 10th one or the first time doing it and you've practiced yoga for a while, I hope that you were able to have a little bit of fun on your mat, a little bit of an opportunity to explore your experience, and just some time to yourself. Thank you so much for joining me, as always. May you be well.